again with another one of our authors for her story, His Glory, a series of mad conversations. And I am so excited to introduce you all to Mama Leslee. She is just like a mama to me. Such an incredible mentor. And so I can't wait for you all to hear from her. If you are confused about what mad conversations is, it's simply conversations that mothers, mentors, and daughters have together from generation to generation about some of the difficult things. So, Mama Leslee, how are you today?
I am so good, Miss Liv. I just love you. I love seeing you in your long conditional t-shirt. You look so good.
Hey, thank you, thank you. Even though you look amazing in that lace, you made me want to go up and throw my lace shirt on. You're absolutely beautiful, stunning, and glowing on the other side of a transition to a new city.
That's right.
Exciting.
Well, it was time for me at my age, and I've gone through a couple of basically one major health issue early in the year that got me to thinking about maybe it's time to get closer to family. And the only real family I have is my brother in Texas. So I told the Salvation Army I was going to retire, and I put my house on the market and came to look at houses here. And literally the first person that looked at my house bought it. That's the third time the Lord has moved me in the last 5 years by just first person saw it, they bought it, and then I was able to move on. So when that happens, of course, it's not your idea, it's God's idea here. So it's crazy.
Well, we miss you back in the Las Vegas area. We definitely missed you at those book release parties and panels that we had. I'm excited, though, that our readers and our community get to know you and hear a little bit from you, because you speak on a very sensitive subject that is so necessary in this day and time, especially in 2020, and that is one of loss. What would you like our readers to know about loss?
Well, the first thing to think about when you think about loss, it isn't just what I went through with the loss of my husband almost 5 years ago, but it could be the loss of a child, the loss of a dear friend, the loss of a friendship. Maybe someone didn't pass, but there was such a break that it was just rendered into, and there's no more friendship. The loss of a career or a job because of other circumstances. There are so many other losses. Obviously, the one I dealt with was the loss of my husband, but they can all be equally painful. And I think the most important thing for people to know is that the loss is not the end. It's just a turning, a change of direction, perhaps, a new beginning. A loss can be a new beginning. It can be a way to completely reinvent yourself when you're completely taken out of a relationship or a marriage or a situation that you've been in for years and felt very complacent and comfortable. And then all of a sudden it's just torn away. You have to stop and look up and say, okay, God, now what? What do I do with all that I have left in front of me? Or do I just burrow into a hole and hide? No, he doesn't want us to burrow in a hole and hide. He wants us to take time to grieve, to mourn, to face the loss, and then take what we learned from that relationship, that person, that life, and turn it towards others, let him help you find a new way to channel all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he's been right behind me the whole time, just kind of going, okay, honey, we're going to get this. We're going to keep moving. And you and I have talked about this, but my husband was a pastor, and he was a great lover of Jesus and a great teacher of how to be a lover of Jesus. And so being completely reliant on Jesus himself and teaching me all of that, because I wasn't even a Christian when I met him. So apparently I studied pretty well, and I took it very much to heart, because even with his loss, I knew I was never really alone. I might be lonely from time to time, but I was never, ever alone. And that has propelled me. But the one thing that I really want them to take away is, again, aside from the fact that you're not the only one that's ever gone through something like this, we all, at some point in our lives, sometimes way too early in our lives, and sometimes when it's completely unexpected. Mine was sort of expected and understood, and planned for, but not in a way you'd like. We're not alone in this. And ultimately, we're never alone when we rely on Jesus to be right there beside us through whatever we face. And the next thing is that they need to know that whatever you have gained in knowledge, understanding, strength, whatever, through your circumstance, if you look around, find someone who is in even more dire straits than you find yourself or you feel you are, and reach out to them and pour that into them, you will find yourself growing stronger and healthier and more whole day by day, because there's always someone else that needs your help, someone that doesn't know Jesus the way you know Jesus, and someone who can gain from your strength and gain from your understanding and knowledge and love that just pours through us when we allow him to just make us his vessels and share it. So that's probably the biggest thing that helped me, was helping others.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. You said so much. I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
no, it was so good. You said so much in a very short amount of time. But I mean, some of the things that you talked about how there truly is a difference between feeling lonely and being alone.
That's right.
And how it is possible to invite Jesus into some of those places that you may be alone in, so that he can make up the difference and help you not to feel lonely anymore.
Right.
I
That's right.
think that's so powerful, and we definitely need that opportunity and that power in this time, just to invite him to sit with our grief, because so many of us feel like we have to get over it, we have to get it together, and we have to move forward in order to help other people. But you're saying help them right there in the middle of it, because
There
you're
you
going to
are.
find healing in that.
Exactly. And the journey is so completely different for every single person. Obviously, some of that depends on what that loss was. And it also depends on who you are and how old you are as you're dealing with this. But the journey is completely different. You can't allow people to tell you how you are going to grieve, or how long you're going to grieve, or what that's going to feel like, or what that would look like. It's just, you know what? It just isn't possible. So you have to acknowledge that, and acknowledge that, yes, I hurt, and yes, I'm sad, and yes, I'm lonesome, and yes, I miss him every day of my life. But at the same token, you can't live there in that little small place. You have to look up and look out and see what else might be available to you. Someone might need you. Other things, are going on. So
Yeah, that's so good. When you talk about looking up and looking out, I instantly got a picture of Ruth and Naomi. And it wasn't
yes,
until Naomi looked up and saw the provision that God had given her through those who were remaining in her life, that she was able to find appreciation for where she was and then help someone else so that she could
Absolutely.
be blessed in turn. So
Exactly.
look out.
Exactly. Exactly.
Y'all see our conversations are good. We just go off of each other and the conversations go on and on. Mama Leslee, is there any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us as we close?
I just want to say thank you and God bless you to all of the mommies and the daughters and the mentors that are going to be reading this book and sharing it with each other and sharing it with their friends and um, sharing it with people they haven't even met yet, because that's just how God works. There are so many treasures hidden in these pages, so many amazing hearts of the women who shared, not me, but all the other ones,
All of us.
all of us. And I think really we all thought of this as a gift we were giving to be shared. And at least I certainly did. And I think a lot of the other ladies did as well. And so we just hope that the gift is accepted the way it's offered, in love, in strength, in unity.
Amen. Amen. We need that in this time. So thank you so much for that. Everybody, you can find that book at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google, and iTunes in whatever format that you like to read best.